Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel, Knowledge and Wisdom. And today, in interview with Iqbal, we are going to interview one of my oldest colleague who has been associated with us since long. And his name is Job Joseph, and he's associated as a sales manager for one of the reputed organization. So, welcome, Job. Welcome to our channel interview with Iqbal. And I believe my audience will be very excited to know about you today. So we just want to have, or my audience wants to have a brief about you, if you can share something about yourself.
Thank you so much, first of all, Iqbal, for inviting me to the channel. All the best for your venture. And as you said, my name is Job Joseph. I'm into retail banking for the last 20 years in UAE. Before coming to UAE, I was working in India. I was into industrial sales and marketing in North India. I came to UAE in 2004 and started my career in personal loans with one of the leading local banks. So it has been a good journey, a successful journey with a lot of good professionals who have guided me all throughout my career. And as of now, I'm managing one of the channel partners of one of the leading banks over here as a sales manager. So that's a brief about my career so far.
Okay, so you started sales manager job, right? You are managing a very big team, probably of, I believe, 100 staff, maybe?
Almost, yeah.
Almost, perfect. 100 staff team and 100 different minds. So what are the qualities of sales that you generally find? Like, good qualities, bad qualities?
Well, if you're talking about sales qualities of a sales executive, it's first of all, it's all about a positive attitude. You should have a positive attitude because situation can change. Today things are going good. Tomorrow it can go bad. There are successful days. There are what you call days wherein you find it difficult to find customers, difficult to meet your targets. So one thing is the positive mindset that you carry. That is most important. And secondly, your communication skills. That has to be perfect, in fact. So if you're not able to communicate perfectly with the customer, you cannot onboard customers. You cannot get customers. And of course, you should know product. So your product knowledge, in and out about the product knowledge is very important. You should know the competition, because unless you know the competition, you will not be able to convince customers to opt for your product. So these are the basic qualities of a sales guy, which I consider as one of the most important aspects, in fact.
Have your tea, I think you should be enjoying your tea also while, giving it. All right. Okay. What I've seen is you have been associated with, 80s and 90s kids, like us. You have been associated with Gen Z, 2000 kids. What difference do you see before 2000, kids who were born before 2000, kids who are born after 2000? What difference do you see generally in them?
Well, that's a very nice question. Well, what I can see in the, let's say, old generation and new generation, let's, differentiate like this. So in the old generation, they were not so tech savvy. In the new generation, yes, they're very fast. Their thinking is very quick. Their mindset is different. Their IQ level is different because they are of the new generation. The let's say artificial intelligence or the latest developments. So their thinking is different compared to thinking of people like us, wherein we believe more in, let's say, hard work, perseverance. We have more patience in getting things done. And, we used to work hard to get success. But now what I see is that people want instant success, the way they need instant food. So that is one of the biggest differences I can see. And, of course, the entire mindset is different for the youngsters. So they are not thinking traditionally like we used to do. So, and moreover, their what do you call peer group is better, wider. So we had limited peer group. maybe limited to our school group or our locality. Now, since they are, more into YouTube or all the social media, so their friend circle is bigger, not constrained to a particular locality or even nationality.
Perfect. So, I believe we had our own style of working, and they have their own style.
Yes.
They use technology more, and we use traditional method more, right?
Correct.
But when you compare both of them, like 1890s kids or 2000 and recent kids, and into the business, whom do you think performs better, like the 80s one or the current one?
Well, in fact, that depends. We cannot say that, we cannot generalize, in my opinion, that the older generation are performing better and the new generation are not. It depends upon individual to individual, in fact. I've seen people, young generation people, coming in and, working with more fervor, more enthusiasm, more drive. So it depends more on your inborn qualities. Okay, what do you want to achieve in your life, be it in the old generation or in the new generation? So that is a basic factor, the deciding factor regarding your performance. In fact, yes, the older generation had a different way of doing things. The new generation, they use more of social media or stuff like that for their success. So, in my opinion, it can be different for you, can be different for anybody else. But the inborn quality to succeed, okay, that what do you call that, fighting spirit, that is a deciding factor when it comes to success in life.
Perfect. But what I have seen is like, of course, every time or every generation or, every kids they have, or every time frame, they have pros and cons. So with whatever positives that the new generation has and whatever negatives that they are also equally successful. And as well as 80s and 90s kids are also equally
Yes.
successful. We had people at that time who were not ready to work. We have people in this generation also who are not ready to work, and vice versa. There are
Correct.
people who are really enthusiastic and they want to make success in life and they are working. They are doing good job. So generally, the format that we work in, it's more of a direct sales, the hardcore sales, right? So how do you motivate your team, like, so that they go out and they sell? What are the three things that you inculcate in your team?
Well, when somebody comes to the country as a newcomer, in fact, okay, so I always tell them face-to-face interaction is more important than sitting in the office and calling customers. Now, you can get some database and call customers, okay, and acquire some customers. That is one way of doing it. But when you're new in the country, okay, you should have people interaction. You should go to companies. You should meet people. I always tell them you create your own market, which means it should be your personal contacts. Now, you don't make a personal contact unless you go and meet somebody in the office, sit there, talk face to face. So that is when you create a kind of an impression in the other person, which is not possible when you're sitting in the office and making calls. So that is a basic thing I tell my staff. You need to go out, okay, and you need to have personal contacts. Now, that contact is a longer lasting contact than a contact which is over phone. So that is a basic thing I teach my staff. That is a most important aspect in a direct sales. If it is telesales, it's totally different. But when it comes to direct sales, yes, direct interaction is very important. So that is one way of motivating my staff. I tell them, see, today you are here, tomorrow you can be anywhere else. So you should have your own market which you can carry around. That will decide your success.
So just now you spoke about, like, when we started the training about perseverance. With your story, I want to explain my audience on what perseverance is. So first of all, I want to give you a brief about how you came to this part of the world, Dubai.
Well, in fact, I'm from South India. I was working in North India, and Dubai was my dream as anybody in those days. So I came on a visit visa over here in Dubai. One of my friends was working in banking. He introduced me to one of the local banks, as I told you. So I've joined the personal loan department. I was totally new to banking. I did not know anything about banking. I've never worked in a banking atmosphere. So I had that drive to go out and do it. So I wanted to perform. And of course, when you come to this part of the world, you have to make a career. You have to make a life out of it. So it was a very, what do you call, successful, uh, at the same time, with a lot of struggle, of course. So I always had this positive attitude. I had the enthusiasm and the energy to succeed. Yes, there are times when you don't find success, but you don't give up. You have to go. You have to get it done. So there are different examples. In fact, one of the examples is that I was following up with one of the customers. It took me almost 3 months to get the customer when I was doing a personal loan. When I went to the customer and signed the application, he told me one thing, Job, I know that your rate of interest is higher than the market, but I want to take it from you only because of your follow, only because of the service you have given me. So that was an eye-opener for me that, if one customer says no today, it is never no forever. It can be a yes tomorrow if you have a customer relation, if you have a good customer rapport. So that is one key for your success. And again, what I can advise the young generation is that, don't give up on the face of difficulty, on the face of struggle, because today's struggle can be tomorrow's success.
Okay, there is one story, friends, which I would like to share with you all about Job. He has spoken about perseverance, and there is one thing which Job believes in totally, and that is nothing but that if you are consistent in whatever you do, you will achieve success. Okay, and there was a time when it was COVID, and people were losing job left, right, and center, and it was a very difficult time. Everybody was having difficulty. So I want to know from Joseph, if you're ready, if you're okay, Joseph,
Sure.
I want you to share the story of instead of me, because I know that story, and I want my audience to know if you are perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And the reason why I want him to share that story is so that people should get to know what are the difficulties that an individual goes through. But if you drop it, if you don't get up from the failure that you had, you will never succeed. So the success to anything, and Joseph would not have been a sales manager if you would have, lost, and probably he would not have taken up the challenge again to rebuild himself. So I want Joseph to share that story, and that will, that's a kind of motivation for all of us.
Well, in fact, as it happened to so many people during COVID, I lost my job. So I was out of job for almost 2 years. Those days, I have decided to do something different from banking. So I got into trading and cryptocurrencies and etc. etc. It was going okay, but not the way I wanted, because I had a goal, I had an expectation that I need a particular income to survive and to support my family as well. So in between, I got an offer from one of the agencies for a particular bank, leading bank in UAE. I took up that challenge. I came back to banking again. So when I came over here, it was a small team. So we had set a target. Yes, in 1 year, we want to have so many number of people, and we want to achieve this much numbers in terms of credit cards and personal loans. And immediately after COVID, it was not easy hiring people. So hiring was one of the challenges, in fact. So we have faced that challenge, because in this particular industry, the attrition level is quite high. So you hire somebody, maybe after 2 months, he leaves for a better option, because there are a lot of agencies around. So that was one of the challenges in retaining people. And we have done that very well, in fact. We were quite successful in hiring. We had built a team. We have motivated a team to the level we expected. In fact, in terms of the number of staff, as well as the volume of business which we have generated. And then again, when things were slowing down in terms of some policy changes, etc., the market was difficult. We were not able to acquire business the way we used to. So we have changed our focus towards company relations. So I started going out to corporates, meeting them, especially to onboard them for the bank, for the retail banking products. So those relations, those customer relations, those company relations helped us to bring in our numbers. So that is one way we have increased our business. So there is a what do you call a call for survival, which we have done very well.
Okay, so one thing actually Joseph has, missed out, but I'll tell you about it. What happened was, like, during COVID, when he lost his job and he had a lot of financial difficulty, he literally had to dispose his assets so that he can survive into the market. And what he did was, and he had a chance, like, to leave everything and go back to his home country and, lead a life of a normal person, because here every day is an expense. But what he did was he stayed back, he worked for different organizations, and he fought back with the difficult situation that he had. And trust me, he came up with flying colors. He has done far better than what is expected. And trust me, like, I know him since long, and my respect towards him has increased because of his fighting caliber, or not letting go attitude. So Joseph, congratulations on that, because a lot of people cannot do it, or they're unable to do it, but you have done it, and you have done it marvelously well. What are the suggestions, or what and advice that you want to give it to uh, the uh, the kids who are entering into a corporate, or who just starts their, or who are about to start their career?
Well, the biggest thing is that you should be able to face challenges. You should be able to face failures, because every day cannot be a success. Every day you do not win. There are days when you struggle. There are times when you find it difficult to go ahead. So you should be prepared to face that. That is number one. Because unless you have that fighting spirit, never let go attitude, you will not succeed in life, be it in sales or any front, even in family life also. Okay, you face challenges. There are difficulties, but you have to face it. So that is one thing. And second thing, you should be able to, manage people. Manage people in the sense, when you work in an organization, there are different kinds of people from different nationalities, from different ethnic background, different cultures. So you should know their culture, you should know their background, and you should be able to communicate them in that particular way. So when I say that, that it's not the verbal communication only, it's about the relation you maintain with that particular person. So understanding the other person is very important. And most important, all throughout my life, my career, I have maintained one thing: you have to respect others. Be it your managers, be it your subordinates, or even be it the office boy. So there is a human relation. You should value the human relation to the core. That is one thing you have to maintain to be successful, to be a respectable, an executive in any company. So these are the main things which I value the most. And above all, honesty. So you should be honest to the organization, to the work, irrespective of your manager being present or not. So these are the simple but important traits, qualities that you should inculcate, you should have in your, in your blood, I'll say, which will take you through your career.
Thank you, Joe. Thanks a ton for being my guest. It was literally pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Okay, on records, and I believe my audience will also enjoy the highly valuable inputs that you have given. And we are looking forward to some more interviews with you in future. And,
Sure.
may Allah bless you and bless us with more prosperity and success in life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.